Is there any way in which, I just want to be rigorous about the historical record, where people have overstated their claims about what happened on January 6th? Are there any other myths that have been perpetuated that you want to clarify or rebut?
I mean, there are all kinds of myths about that have been rebutted about who started it and the role of the FBI, for example.
Right. Yeah. Talk about the role of the FBI, because that is something that is much harder to pinpoint, and a lot of people believe what they want to believe. So talk about that.
Well, yes, and the FBI makes it difficult, frankly, to rebut this because of their historical reticence from providing information to Congress or anyone about their...
Well, let's get Chris Wray. Let's get Chris Wray on the podcast.
Yeah, but he would say, Preet, as you know, we don't talk about confidential human sources. So they don't do themselves any favors when it comes to throwing open the curtain as to their assets who were present. There were people in the crowd who were providing information to the FBI. They wouldn't be doing their job if they weren't paying close attention to groups like the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers who presented domestic terror threats. That said, there's absolutely no evidence that any of them, either directed by the FBI or even on their own, did anything to stoke violence or to create the conditions for an insurrection. There was a narrative, for example, of this guy, Ray Epps, who is this older white man who is seen kind of at the front at the peace circle, that where the Proud Boys first breached the police lines, that kicks open the door for everyone, where he's sort of acting a little bit like a peacemaker. And there was this false narrative that he was an FBI source. He told us that he was not. We finally got the FBI to admit that he was not an FBI source, was not an employee, was not a confidential human source. But nonetheless, going back to what you said before, Preet, there's been this incessant, it must have been an FBI-led insurrection because they're anti-Trump somehow. It doesn't take facts to spin out those kinds of crazy theories.